everybody's having a wonderful day. I'm go- I hope everybody's having a wonderful day. I'm going to talk a little bit about the Derek Chauvin trial, which is extremely interesting and is something that should be watched by everybody, even if you don't care about George Floyd or the trauma that happened to him. But it says a whole lot about our police department. It says a whole lot about what citizens' rights are. And I'm going to do that more thoroughly in some follow-up audio tapes. And I think it's really important to follow what is going on in this fascinating trial. I think the only thing I'm going to say right now is if you are a citizen, well, even if you're not a citizen, if you're in the United States and you get approached by the police, first, the police may pull out a gun. That does not mean that they're going to shoot you, but you might have a higher chance of being shot if you are a minority and especially a black man. But they will probably pull out a gun, and that's because a lot of people who are criminals hide guns in various places inside the car, and they may reach for these guns quickly when approached by the police. The police may not have time to react, so they often have the gun already out and pointed at the individual so that they will have the ability to react in case they are surprised with a gun. Put your hands immediately on top of the wheel so that the officers know you're not reaching for anything and that they feel safer in approaching the car. They may put away the gun if they feel that they're safe, but they probably won't, because there's still a chance that someone could quickly move their hand from the wheel to a gun location and surprise the officer with a gun. So keep your hands on top of the wheel and answer questions. Mainly, don't say anything extra. Give your name, your driver's license, auto registration, and that's basically it. That's all the officer needs, I believe. I'll have to refresh my mind on that and think it through more thoroughly, but that's basically all the officer needs. The officer should tell you why you are being approached and if you did something wrong. Don't argue with the officer. You may want to file later a complaint if you think they did a bogus stop. Now, the officer will automatically do a warrant search. And a lot of times officers do this because if they see somebody, like a black male, driving a car, they might want the warrant search just to see if there's something else that they can get them on. So that the officer might stop you for something that's bogus, but it gives him an opportunity to dial into the central police station, do a warrant search on you, see if there's any open warrants that have a similar name, and then be able to drag you into the police station on a arrest. So there's nothing much you can do about that. That is part of what the law is doing these days. They can stop you for anything in your car and then do a warrant search, and they have your driver's license and everything, so you can't leave. If you want to leave, if the officer is dallying around or asking you questions that are not pertinent, just basically searching around to see what you're going to say and so forth, you can ask the officer, am I under arrest? If the officer says no, you can say, am I free to go? If the officer says yes, you may go. If the officer says no, you are under arrest. And you should not say anything. You should just say, I'm not saying anything until I've spoken to my attorney. At that point, the officer cannot ask you any more questions. It is final. The officer has to arrest you, take you in, cook up a charge, whether it's real or bogus, and then you have an opportunity to speak to an attorney and find out what the charges are and what is being used as evidence against you. Now, of course, when they arrest you, they take your car and they have the ability to thoroughly search your car for anything that might be in there. So if there is something in there that could be confusing to the officer or which could lead to another criminal charge, you as the driver of the car would be charged with ownership of that. So if you have friends who use drugs and they might be leaving their drugs in your car periodically, or they might have a gun and they hide it in your car, or something else, you would, as the owner of the car, the person in charge of the car with the keys, who is sitting behind the driver's steering wheel, would be charged with having control of whatever it is in your car. So it's very, very important who your friends are and who you're letting in your car. The same is with your house. If an officer comes to your house and they do a search warrant and you have kids who are hiding drugs in your house, or people who are leaving guns in your house, or whatever it could be, or stolen property, you as the owner of the home would be in control of whatever is in your home, and you could be held on possession or stolen property or whatever. So it is very important who you let in your car and who you let in your home and so forth. So this is just my first thing I wanted to say about things I'm thinking of during this trial with Derek Chauvin. I'm going to have a whole lot more to say, and I'm going to have more audio tapes for you to go over and to talk with your kids, because these are so important. I know when I was a kid, I had friends who were into activities that I didn't participate in, and I didn't even know what activities they were really into, but I suspected they probably would have been exposed to drugs. They might have even had weapons, maybe a knife, maybe a gun, who knows. But you have to be very careful today about who has access to your property and who might be hiding things in your property. Now, if someone finds something outside your property, so that there's a gun found next to your car, or there is a gun found next to your property outside, well, then more people have access to that, and you're probably going to have a better chance of not having ownership of whatever it is outside your house. If it is still on your property, they can still go for, it's on your property, you have, it's probably yours, but there is a better chance of you being able to say, well, I didn't put it there, maybe it was thrown there, someone came during the night and dropped it there as they were crossing my property, who knows. But inside your house, inside your car, you are going to be held liable for whatever is in there. And once they say you are under arrest, officer, am I under arrest? Yes. Stop talking. Ask for a lawyer. Officer, am I under arrest? No. Am I free to leave? Yes. You may leave. If he says you are not under arrest, but you are not free to leave, consider yourself under arrest. Stop talking and say you want to speak to your attorney. Well, those are just my first thoughts for today about the citizens and the police, our relationship, and what we need to do to keep ourselves safe. So take care, and I will do some more audio tapes soon in the future.